Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we have something really interesting and fun that we're going to experiment with, and I'm actually super excited about this. Today's video is going to be an experiment where we take this pedal here and we switch out the transistors in it for these old vintage cool transistors that I've found, and hopefully you're going to think this is interesting. Let's begin with the crazy and weird part of it. I recently found a seller online that was selling these really old, really rare transistors. You can't find any information on them on the internet. You have to actually look in old data sheets, and you have to look in old Wikipedia, what's the word? Wikipedia before Wikipedia, you know, the books that you could get. I have the old data sheets here in my hand, which is really crazy. I have to be careful with them because they're actually almost 100 years old. As you can see, I have them here. And these transistors are from somewhere around the 1920s, 1930s, somewhere in between there. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly where they are. I have them right here, and as you can see, hopefully, they look really weird, really different, really strange from any other transistors. And the reason why is because these were made before the transistor was invented. They're a sort of precursor, or whatever you want to call it, to them. A lot of times you think that the vacuum tube was created and then the transistor was created, but obviously there was steps in between where people were experimenting with how to make what then later became the transistor. But they operate really similar, and as you probably can tell, and you'll get better close-ups real soon, they are actually made out of glass and ceramic, and you can actually see the coils. So they should technically lit up like a vacuum tube, because they're basically like more advanced vacuum tubes, sort of. But I want to just tell you this weird story, because I think that some of you just want to hear it, but a lot of you will appreciate this craziness, because they were made in Prussia, actually. In the end of Prussia, before all the sad things happened and it turned into what is today known as Russia and Poland. You all know about World War II. And so, but first, before I start, they were invented by a man, and there is only one photo of him, and I'll put it up here so you can see him and maybe get some idea of who he was. It's an old picture, it's not very good, but it's the best picture you will find. His name is, and I'm sorry for the pronunciation, it's an old name from a language I don't speak, so bear with me, but his name is Bojoslav Admakoyrik. Sorry, but that's the best you're gonna get. But anyway, these transistors that I have right here, they are called the Chasco J60412s. A couple of things that are interesting about them that you read about them in the data sheet and you realize is that they have these colored legs, and you might think that that's just like protective shielding, sort of like on copper wires, you know, the shielding that you will find on these sorts of things, you know, to keep them from grounding out and things like that. But it's not actually true. According to the data sheet, we can read here, they're actually made out of a ceramic material, and they are insulating from interference, but they're actually also heat reducing, which is sort of weird to say, kind of, but it's an interesting way of solving the heating part. Sometimes you will see a resistor with a plate on the back. These are reducing them into the legs. So it's basically, according to the data sheet, the signal goes up into it and the heat goes down through them. And that's an interesting way, I would say, to do it. It's not something that we actually really have to care about in this instant, because we are going to put them into this pedal and we're not going to have to use that feature, because it's never going to get hot enough, because it's just 9 volts. I hope that this is going to work, first of all, because they're not made for guitar pedals. This is an old invention from before guitar pedals were invented, quite a lot before. But I'm hoping that we will have some fun with this and that it will be interesting. Boisla. Names are hard. They're even worse than words, which is something that maybe someone should point out to JHS. But anyway, he invented these, and one of the really interesting things, and is one of the reasons why I want to talk about the history a little bit, is he disappeared, which is weird. There's very little information about him. He graduated, he went into science, he became an engineer, and he started working on these. And he lived in Kaliningrad, which you might know what happened to. And he disappeared around the same time as some of the really sad and horrible things happened. So he could have been killed, but there is no real record of what happened to him, which I think is very interesting, because I think this is one of those lost to time sort of inventions. Maybe if he had been around for another 10 years, he could have really been pushing technology. I don't really know. It's hard to say what would have happened if this thing would have gotten more public. I'm not really sure I'm getting across how cool this is. I hope some of you are really nerding in here now with me, because I'm kind of going crazy over that I found this. It was actually a really interesting story, because I found this guy online and he talked to me. He is one of you guys subscribed, and he told me that I could have these, but that I had to meet up with him, buy them in person. First, I was very unsure about, because I felt like it's kind of strange that you want to do it this way. But he showed me pictures and documentation, and oh, my light just went out. Why? Strange. Always when I'm recording, the lights go out, and never mind. I should have loaded it before I started filming, but I was too excited about this. And he told me they had the documentation, that this is like the last. And I'm gonna try to like save this. It's in bad conditions, as you can see. He told me about them, and I just felt like the crazy scientist who lived 100 years ago and that no one knows anything about, and he disappeared, and he's tied to the history of Kaliningrad and all of these weird historical things, and it's like a sidetrack for history. And he told me that they do work in a similar way. There's a little bit of difference, but we're gonna plug it into the pedal now. I'm gonna try to get more information as I'm making this video, because I just wanna build with them. We're just going to do that. But I'm going to try to find out more information. This pedal here. Some of you know about this. It's the actual first pedal I built and got done and fixed. And it has the Eclipse by Fuss thing, which is a homage to JSS, who got me into pedals. I didn't really understand pedaling. I didn't really understand the history of pedals and how important they are until I really started watching their videos. So I'm using this not only because it's very easy to take out the transistors in this and just pop those in. It's also a pedal that everybody knows. It's just a regular, simple fuzz face. There is nothing. That's why I had the fuzz face on it. So it's like double meaning. But it's also because as JSS is doing things about history, and I'm actually doing my first thing about history, because I haven't really done anything about that, but I'm actually a history nerd too. Yeah, I'm just sort of putting all of these things together now into one giant glob. My first pedal, the history of where I started, JSS, who inspired me and is also doing things of history, this person here who is history now, which is a little bit gruesome maybe to say, and all these things coming together. These things here that are a lost part of history, and just all these things are going to come together. I hope to be able to make a better, longer video about these. The Jasko J60412 that we have right here. So yes, let's jump into putting these in place and see what happens, see what it sounds like, and yeah, we'll open up this pedal that I built and see what crazy kind of a rat nest little old me did so many years ago. Okay, so here we have them, and hopefully you can see them and get a little bit of a closer look. Pull one of them out. You can see how they are very, like, first of all, it's a strange shape, especially if you come from transistors. But they do have something similar, like a name written on them and 3 legs. Especially if you think of like older ones, you have like the insulation on the sides. Here's the back as well, some sort of copper plating. they're made out of glass, which might be a little bit hard to see. And you can see it's hard to show you on the camera, but hopefully you can see how the legs goes further up in and under the logo or text. And there you can also see sort of, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see like the inner filaments and layering between the glass and the copper plating and the legs. And here is the pedal that we're going to work on today, as you can see. And first off, we have to take out these screws. If we can, damn, I really put them in. Never do that yourselves. Tighten screws down, but don't overdo it. Don't do it to the point where it's impossible to remove them. It's very typical me to over tighten screws. It's something that I've always had issues learning not to do from when I was a crazy DIYer as a kid. Anyway, some of you have actually asked me to open this up before, so to the ones of you who really want to see the inside of this and has not been allowed to do so before because I'm too lazy, let's see it. I haven't opened this in so many years, so let's see what it looks like together. God damn it. Tissue paper. See, this is not good. This is not. So what we have to do is we have to pull these out. They're just going out like that and put them to the side. Most likely I'm going to put them back in once I've tried this, but you never know. Okay, and let's take this plier here, and because these are, you know, they're rare and they are fragile, I'm just gonna try my best to be careful with these legs. And they actually go in the same orientation, so that's a bit of a interesting factor. And they don't seem to fit. Wait, yeah they do. What am I saying? There we go. They're a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to just press them in gently. There we go. See, that was it. And then we take the next one and we'll do the same thing. There we go. That's actually it. If you have any transistors based pedals and you want to experiment, obviously you have to look up the data sheet and you have to make sure that you have the right orientation of the legs. And I think this is correct because I've spoken to the seller and I also read through the data sheet, you know, this thing here, that I've translated everything correctly. So we're going to put this in here. We're not going to put this back in because obviously that's silly. Let's see if we can get this closed up. Come on. Push it down a little bit like that. So there we go. And now we can just put in these screws. I'm not going to tighten them all the way down because I think I might want to switch back and build a pedal around these eventually, you know, just to maximize them and get the best out of them. And I still have one left, and I feel like maybe making something with all three would be cool. But yeah, there it is. So here's the pedal now, and let's go and just listen to it and, you know, see what it sounds like. No one's ever commented on the fact that I say see what it sounds like, which is a joke about the whole, you know, we listen with our eyes thing. I don't know. I always thought that was clever. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's go and listen to it. I've already recorded it before, and so now we're going to listen to an after. I mean, first the before and then the after. And yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, if you're new here, and you liked what you saw and see, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're old here, hi Simon and Sean and Mads Panda, even, or the artist formerly known as Mads Panda, since you lost your YouTube channel, then just give me a like and a comment. Anyway, until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and play guitar. If you can find these, that would be super cool and awesome, and I would love to know what you think I should build with them, if you have any cool ideas after hearing the demo. I want to also try and experiment and find the perfect circuit for them, because I don't think I'll ever get more of these, since there seem to be, according to the seller, only 100 in the world. Obviously, give or take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, let's go and listen to this now and see what it sounds like. Okay, bye.
What's cooking?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna demo this pedal. I've changed out the transistors and I'm gonna see if I can get a new sound.
Oh, damn shit, man. This sounds awesome. Could you play me some?
Yeah, sure.
Eh? What's going on?
Transistors are making appearance and everything.
Who are you?
I am you.
Where am I?
This is what it looks like to have fallen out of time and space.
Why am I here?
You are not. I am.
What are you talking about?
I am talking about time dilations. This is what happens when you build pedals that should not be.
If you are me, then who am I?
I am he as you are he as I am me, and we are all together. The rough, the darkness of future past. There is always fear of the unknown, where there's mystery.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Float with me in a world of ether.
You have to run now. He's coming. Don't let him get you.
Why?
Frau Darmchick, was machen Sie hier? Ich habe die Transistoren.